Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, May 3rd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And also, if you trade Bitcoin, I will do a bonus Bitcoin analysis at the end. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And second, I will be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, EBS. Big mover today. And now with this pullback, creates a pretty big situation because there is no doubt about it. This here has been quite the pullback. You can't deny that at all. But this is where things get a little tricky from a presentation standpoint because it's all about perspective. I get it. If you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought up around here and your plan was to buy and sell within 20 minutes, well then from that perspective, the chart looks absolutely terrible. However, if you care about the big picture, well, part of the big picture is acknowledging, well, sure, the price has been pulling back here. But what was happening before this pullback? Well, you had this monster move like that, which is now giving me the ability to draw a bull flag pattern, which is obviously a bullish pattern. Doesn't mean the price will for sure go up, but it does take a whole different angle to things depending on how you're approaching this trade in the first place. So like I said, is this a good or bad looking chart? Well, I don't know your strategy. I don't know where you're at and what your goals were, but assuming you are some sort of bigger picture player, you like bull flag patterns, then definitely keep an eye on it. Next one, JAGX, very nice mover here, and want to just start off with a bigger context as from a big picture standpoint, this thing has been and remains in a very impressive uptrend, higher highs and higher lows, and that's what it's all about. So just keep that in mind as I zoom back in here and we can look at more near-term levels. So let's first start with some pullback areas. So the preferable level, meaning if you're saying, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And preferably if the price could stay above 27 cents, that would make the chart look very, very healthy. With that being said, if the price falls below that level, that doesn't mean the chart's epically destroyed or anything like that. But yeah, if the price could stay above it, that would be ideal. From the bigger picture standpoint, just watch that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average. Keyword there being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that purple line, as the line itself moves higher and higher, well, by default, by definition, that implies the price itself is building those higher lows, which is what an uptrend is all about. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing fancy here. Literally just a question of, okay, well, where did the party finally stop today? And the party stopped right there at the 32 cent mark. So again, no fancy logic there. Just simply, where did the party stop? Right there at 32 cents. So that'll be the main battleground moving forward. But all things considered, very impressive overall uptrend. Next one, ALLR, and this is an ugly, ugly looking chart, but for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. And what makes this very interesting is the fact of where the price is at right now. So let me change this to green to represent support. And that is right back at this area of support here. It previously bottomed out here, and actually, once again, has already bumped right off it right there. But this becomes a very valid question. Hey, this area has held as support before. Is history going to repeat itself? Now, am I saying, is this exact same move going to happen? I'm not saying that, but let's just say it simply bounces up to there before getting rejected back down. From a trading standpoint, I mean, that's a good amount of profit potential that you could work with in that little range right there. But the moral of the story here is that, is this one of these situations where everybody's waved the white flag, everybody capitulates? And have you seen that before, where when it seems like it's as bad as it can get, and then all of a sudden the price makes an upwards move? Is that some sort of situation here? Now, it may not be. That's why risk management matters. So if you're not a disciplined trader, if you're not going to be honoring stops and all that good stuff, well, then I mean, you shouldn't be trading in the first place. But you definitely shouldn't be trading situations like this. But yes, very ugly looking chart, but still intriguing based on the fact it was all the way up here. It's come all the way down here, but it's once again holding that support. So is this going to be some sort of bounce over the next couple of days? We'll see what happens. Next one, NIO, and the uptrend continues. Put in another higher high. I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of that level and make the first update. And this update is just based on a foundation rule in chart in which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So newest ideal level of support, 542. Again, same talking point there. Ideal level meaning what would make the chart look the healthiest. Ideally, if the price can stay above there. But again, if the price falls below it, doesn't mean that the entire chart's destroyed. Because from the overarching standpoint, just continue like the other one to watch. That purple line, 50-period moving average, which is serving as our essentially overall trend line that's going to draw itself for us. So as long as the price stays above the quote-unquote trend line, then the bulls are in full control. In terms of areas of resistance, main battleground, in my mind, right there around that $5.60 65-cent mark, so keep a close eye on that. Not exact, but just trying to find kind of a middle ground, because you can see right here, didn't quite hit it, and then a couple of times there went slightly above it. So middle ground there, I'm calling main area of resistance 565, but all in all, good solid day. Next one, PTON. Very, very crazy day. I think they had earnings, but gap up. I mean, true story, there were some poor souls that bought right there. Hopefully they were using a stop loss, and then just collapsed, and now has, come up very, very nicely. So you can't deny the fact that there is this upwards channel, but this is where, again, we got to think about perspective. If you're some sort of short-term trader, then this channel right here, maybe this is something that's worthwhile. But if you are a bigger picture, you have to consider, okay, well, it is trending upwards right now. It is an upwards channel, but what happened before this? Well, you had this big downwards move here. So now we have the opposite of a bull flag. We have a bear flag pattern. But just like because something's bullish doesn't mean the price is going to go up. Same thing's here. Just because something's bearish doesn't mean the price is going to go down. My point here is that I want to get overly excited about this. Yes, it's moving in the right direction. And yes, this could very well be the start of a complete turnaround. But you also have to acknowledge this could also just be a typical bear flag pattern where then you get continuation to the downside. So really, if I had to summarize this, I would call PTON a bear flag. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box you can use to get signed up. Or if you're watching at my website, there's an area right there on the webpage you can use to get signed up. Now, one special note, it is a genuine live event. So maybe you already have something on your schedule this evening. Maybe you're watching this Friday morning, you missed it. Go ahead, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay. But if you can make it live, then definitely go get signed up, and I'll see you here in just a few hours. Next one, TSLA, Tesla. And all things considered, I'd say a good solid day, namely because, and maybe this setting the bar kind of low, but there was this breakdown of the support. It was all the way down here at one point, but the price has battled back to not only get back to that area of support, the support being right there at 179.20, but it's also been able to get back above it and then stay above it, and is now kind of just cruising, at the bottom portion of it. So sure, maybe, that's setting the bar pretty low, fair enough, but I think I can speak for at least the bulls when I say having the price be up here is much better than this breakdown here, never bouncing and then continuing to bleed and bleed and bleed. So yes, certainly could be a lot better, but it also could be a whole lot worse. So based on the fact that it at least recovered back upwards, nice little sign of strength in and of itself. So long story short there, 179.20 remains that key area of support, was violated today, but ultimately did fight back, and the price was able to get above it. From the resistance side of things, nothing new here to report. In my mind, you still got everybody and their brother's uncle watching the 186 mark as that area of resistance. Although I will say that before you put too much emphasis on it, you're also going to need to watch that purple line there, 50 period moving average, because you can see right here, it was going up, but it just started to go down right there. So now that line is going to continue to move itself and essentially serve as a little miniature resistance trend line. So that'll also be a key area of resistance that I'd say you first need to put your focus on before you get too excited about doing battle and seeing if the price can break through 186. But like I said, given how things started today to how things finished and getting back inside of that channel, overall, I'd say a healthy day. Next one, CNTX, and overall, nice pattern here, and it really revolves around this trend line right here. So as I draw this trend line, please understand I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to say that that's some sort of great secret discovery. In fact, the exact opposite. I think a lot of people have drawn that level, and I say a lot because when a lot of people are watching the same level and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there are no guarantees, is it valid? Is it plausible to think that if the price comes up to that area and breaks up through it, that break in of itself could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible scenario. So if you like to play breakouts, definitely keep an eye on that. If you're more so a pullback player, then I'd say the main pullback general area to watch on any sort of pullback right down there around $1.53. But yeah, I think most people are watching that trend line right there. So let's see if the price can get the breakthrough on Friday. Next one here, AMC, and overall, nice little bouncer underway, which is why I want to start things off by getting this trend line in play, because I think this is really the easiest way to gauge, the question. Okay, yeah, it's bouncing, but is this bounce still healthy? Is it showing kind of, some potential red flags? And we can just summarize that, at least in my opinion, by putting in that trend line right there. Meaning as long as the price is above that trend line, then overall things are fine. Meaning the price come up here, come all the way down here. Shoot all the way up here, come all the way down here. But notice what's going on by staying above that level. You'd still have the price put in higher lows, and that's what it's all about. You want to see those higher lows. So from a very straightforward, simplistic way in terms of asking the question, okay, is this bounce still healthy? Is it not? Just watch that trend line there. In terms of areas of resistance, main battleground that I think a lot of people have done is drawn a trend line, something like that. So in some senses, there's a bit of a wedge here, but I could see like, I don't know, that with that trend line right there maybe takes away from the wedge, and I completely can understand that. But like I said, I think that is a must-have trend line in there in terms of helping us answer the question on the health of this current bounce or lack thereof. And then that trend line right there serves as a good area of resistance. But like I said, give credit where credit's due. Past couple of days, good solid movement here for AMC. Let's see if it can continue with the bounce. We are now looking at AMD. So we were looking at AMC, but now we're looking at AMD. So nice little bounce here. Let's get this drawn in play because I think this level here is going to be very important moving forward. Right here at 143.50. Why is 143.50 important? And I'm not saying this is what's going to occur, but just for explanation sake, let's say the price comes down here and then breaks down through it. What would that be doing to the price at that point in time? That would quite literally be putting the price right back inside of this range where it just was. Not exactly a sign of genuine strength. When something makes a good move and then goes right back to where it was. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that's why, in my opinion, 143.50, definitely one of those must-hold levels because, yeah, right now, nice little bounce here. Is it a healthy bounce? Let's see if it can make progress. How is progress being defined? Staying up above 143.50, because if the price can end, even if it goes down there and bounces, well, with that, that's still progress because you'd have a low there and you'd have that low down there. In terms of areas of resistance, I think the very straightforward one is right there at 149. Going through the history of things, you can see right there rejected the price and right there rejected the price. So that'll definitely be a main battleground to watch if this bounce continues. So yeah, right now, is this a healthy bounce? Let's see if it can make progress. How is progress being defined? Staying up above 143.50. Next one, TQQQ. Overall, nice bounce, and congratulations to those of you that watched yesterday's video, because if you did, hopefully remember me talking about 51.35 as a support, and check it out. Early part of the day, came down there, slightly below it, and then beautiful, beautiful bounce. So right there, the power of charts, and I'll turn that into a quick plug. Go get signed up for the free webinar. Definitely, charts are a tool that you'll want to learn more about, and I would argue incorporate into your trading. So keep an eye on 51.35 as support, and then also right here, 52.73 was that resistance, but with the price above it, that would also be considered an area of support. And this would certainly be that ideal level, what would make the chart look the best, staying above that area. The must-hold level would be 51.35 for the simple reason of if the price were to drop below there, well, then that's sending it down below those lows, and you don't want to see prices breaking down to two new lows, assuming you're bullish. And then in terms of areas of resistance, nothing new here to report. If you watch the past videos, I've been talking about these moving averages. Purple line, 50 period moving average, pink line, 200 period moving average right there again. Classic example of charts. What a coincidence that after this very nice upwards bounce, it happened to get rejected right there at that purple line. So keep an eye on those two moving averages as the main battleground points moving forward. I will get to Bitcoin here in just a second, but for you stock traders out there, again, go get signed up for that free live webinar. If you like what you saw here and you want to learn more, it'll be this evening, Thursday, May 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But like I said earlier, if you can't make it live for whatever reason, go ahead, send an email to clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to the replay. Now let's talk some Bitcoin. Real quick, a clarification. We are now looking at the 4-hour time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks represents 4 hours and not 30 minutes. And that's because Bitcoin is open 24/7, so I want this analysis to remain relevant for as long as possible. And overall, good, solid move. What I talked about yesterday was the fact that, ask yourself, whenever you're watching this, where's the price at relative to that level? And if the price is above it, that in and of itself, good sign, because this thing had a lot of downwards momentum. And we got our answer. It stayed above it and has now actually gotten a bounce. And now it's flirting and doing battle. Again, the power of charts. And if you don't believe me, I'm not offended at all. Just go back and watch yesterday's video, and you'll see I had that red line in there. And look right where it happened to get rejected. Right at that red line. I'm telling you, I'm turning that into a quick plug. Get signed up for that free webinar. So right here, you can see that this is going to be the main question now moving forward. So let's say you're watching this video, 12 hours, 15 hours from now. Question number one you need to ask yourself is, where's the price at relative to 59,660? If you're answering the question that the price is up above it, that is a good sign, because that would imply that not only has this bounce continued, it's actually broken up above that resistance. Now, how good of a move? Well, very basic premise. Well, how far above 59,660 is it? The further up above it is, the stronger this bounce has not only remained, but has become. So that'll be the first question. Now, if you're answering the question, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below 59,660, then the next immediate question is, where is the price at relative to 56,480? If you're answering the question that the price is down below there, That's not good at all, assuming you're long, because that implies that this whole bounce has been rejected, gone down to that area, and then even continued down through there. So that would be a very bad situation and a very good situation for the bears. Or maybe you're just saying, well, Clay, the price is still up above here, but it's still down below there. Well, then at that point, consolidation. That's the best way to summarize that moment, and or a sideways channel, because that would imply that the price is just chopping around sideways in that regard. So walk yourself through those questions, and that'll keep you up to date on where Bitcoin stands from the technical standpoint. And same goes for you as Bitcoin and crypto traders, because what you learn about in this class definitely can and should be used within your trading of Bitcoin and crypto. So go get signed up. It'll be, like I said, this evening, Thursday, May 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. But if you can't make it live, send me that email to clay@claytrader.com. As far as these top 10 videos plus Bitcoin is concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below, or if you have a request, put your request down below, and I'll see if I can get it into the next top 10 video. So go get signed up for that free class. Take care. Have a good one.